that close by. And then we will be using a strap as we lie down. So if you've got a strap, I would actually put that close by to have that to hand when we're ready for it in a minute. So have a lie down, the hands down by the sides, and start to bend the knees. I'm going to hug the right knee in towards the chest again, and we're going to use the strap here. So I'm going to take the strap over the right foot. So obviously I've got it rolled into a little ball. So let me just unroll that. There we go. And then that strap's going to go over the foot. I usually go around the arch of the foot, but you could go for the ball of the foot if that feels more sturdy, just whatever feels right for you. And then reach that leg up towards the ceiling. Have a little pause there. What can help is bending the other knee. So just emphasizing that a little bit. So if you bend the other knee and put that foot flat on the floor, that can sometimes help get a nice comfy stretch on this side because we're not focusing too much on the front of the hips. So at least for now, have that knee bent and see how that feels. One of the greatest things about having a strap of any sort, whether it's a belt or a towel or something sturdy, is that it allows you to straighten the leg. So then you can put the leg wherever it needs to be. You can go as far away from the body as it needs to be straight. And when we're just holding, so you can reach up for the strap if that feels nice on the arms, or you can let the elbows rest down on the floor. And we're just going to hold for a few deep breaths here. And then see if you can make it as easy as possible. So something that's really important to stretching into the muscles is making sure that we're still in that state of rest and digest. So when we get into a more cardio state, so when you're kind of like really going for it, heart's pumping and things, we start to put our body into that state of fight or flight, which is fine. It can be very healthy, but the muscles don't stretch in that state. So if you've only ever practiced your yoga in a state of really strong fight or flight response, really good heart pumping, a bit hot, bit sweaty, what you might find is that you're not quite as flexible as you want to be, or the muscles don't ever really seem to lengthen as much as you want them to. And sometimes that can be because we are pumping that fluid through the body. So when we are in that state, we have hormones that are released, and they go to the muscles, and they make the muscles work stronger, not more flexible. So to make them flexible, we at least have to sometimes practice in a really calm place, coming from that calm place to bring that flexibility into the deeper tissues. So if you haven't yet, we're going to start to come out. So just bend that knee and take the strap off, undo that strap, put the foot flat, and then bring the left leg in. So just same thing on the other side. Again, find a good spot on the bottom of the foot that feels sturdy and reach that foot up towards the ceiling. And again, we're going to hold. So just taking some deep breaths here. And maybe thinking about that. So thinking about your own personal practice, especially if you're pulled towards, the thoughts of like, oh, I'm not very flexible and things like that. It's like, well, when do you allow yourself to stretch from a place of being really relaxed and really chill? Kind of like we're doing now, lying on the floor. The heart doesn't have to pump against gravity, so that can slow the heart rate down. This pose isn't the easiest, but hopefully the strap does help keep it from being too difficult. And then we're just slowly keeping that tension on the leg, mostly on the back of the leg. And hopefully we really feel that in the meat of the muscle. But even if you don't, even if, I know I've said this a lot before, even if you only feel it in the back of the knee, try to keep the leg straight anyway. So we're starting to move into maybe even stretching or flexing or getting some softness in the tendon area as well. So obviously never hurt yourself, but even if you only feel it there, I would still keep the leg locked straight today so that you're feeling what you feel in your stretch and noticing where the tightness is. And again, for so many poses, you might think, this isn't in my leg at all, it's in my back or my glutes. That's fine too. Don't worry too much exactly where you feel it, unless I specifically tell you shouldn't feel it somewhere. But a lot of the time, you're going to feel it wherever's tight. Maybe one more deep breath here. Well done for holding, because I know these aren't the easiest poses to hold. And then we're going to start to bend the knees and bring the feet down. Straighten the legs out along the mat for a moment. So this just gives you a chance to let all the blood and fluid move back into the legs. Even if we're kind of used to being upside down or today's not a bad day for it, just give yourself a couple breaths here. Just see how things feel. If you have something to put over the eyes, go for it. If you want to grab a blanket or you're feeling a bit chilly, you can go for it. But remember, we won't be here for ages. So having a few deep breaths here in through the nose Out through the mouth, through pursed lips. And if you feel a little bit on edge or a little bit stressed, do that as many times as you need to. If at any point you feel dizzy or lightheaded, always stop and breathe normally. Softening through the toes and the feet, through the ankles, calves and shins and knees. Noticing the effects of our practice on our body. Softening through the thighs, the hips, the belly and lower back. Through the chest, up the spine, the upper back. Softening the neck and shoulders, especially if this is an area of stress or tension for you. Breathing it away. From the shoulders down to the elbows, to the wrists, the palms of the hands and the fingers. All soft, all relaxed. Maybe in this gesture, open to give and receive. Softening around the face, the jaw and cheeks, nose and eyes and forehead. All soft, all relaxed. Coming back to your intention for our practice, to use the practice to be healthy and happy, to help our body be healthy and happy, to help the body feel healthy, the joints, the muscles. That is always our intention, to start from that place of goodness, letting go of all other reasons, letting that be the root, and the other things just be little leaves. Maybe the goal is to get up a flight of stairs without getting out of breath. That's fine, but the root is to be happy and healthy. And then when you're ready, start to take little movements. And I would encourage you to bring your hands onto the body. So I tend to give myself a hug or feel hair. Maybe bending the knees and having a little wiggle or having a deep stretch if that feels nice. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your side, using the hands to sit yourself up to that comfortable position, maybe with the eyes still closed. Bring the hands to your heart. Give yourself a little mental pat on the back for taking the time to practice. And sometimes these more gentle classes that are slower can be the hardest ones. So we really have to focus in and resist the urge to move back into that cardio state. So well done for all your hard work in all its forms. And as always, any sense of peace or stillness or calm that we've cultivated here today, it is there inside of you anytime you need it. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me.